All right, high rollers, it's been a while, but we are back today with a young man who has a very bright future in darts or whatever he decides to do in life. He's an aspiring writer who's working on a book about Glen Durrant, a big Duzza fan. He is also the founder of the World of Darts, and he does media for Luke Humphries. All of this, and he's still just 17 years old. At the Henry Cheal joins us now, back for another go. Henry, welcome to the show, man. Thanks for being our high roller today.
Thank you for having me. It's great to be back on the channel.
What a year, right? Jam-packed with some thrilling action, and here we are just days away from the World Championships. It's almost like Christmas.
Well, certainly. Whenever the World Championships are around, Christmas is just around the corner. A great time of year for dart fans and to spend time with your family as well.
Well, I've been running down your Twitter account. I know you're excited for this World Championship. This is shaping up to be one of the best ever, right? I mean, the caliber is so deep. There's a few people that can win this thing.
Definitely, and I think I'm very looking forward to it. I definitely think it could be very open if an early exit happens to one of the top players, but the standard's so high these days, we could expect an unexpected winner.
Absolutely, and here's hoping for some close matches, some thrilling endings. I'd like to see those big finishes that steal a match. I'm hoping for that. I know it's been a crazy year for you, which brings us to Glen Durrant. Before we talk about the book, let's recap his debut season with the PDC. I'd say it was a success, right? 2 titles, 3 semifinals in major tournaments, the match play, the Grand Prix, the Grand Slam. How would you describe his 2019?
That's a great question because I think at the start of the year, some people weren't really expecting him to do what he's just done this past year. But from my perspective, I think it's brilliant, really, to put it simply. And he's definitely cemented himself well in the PDC, and I think he can only get better. On the reflection of the World Match Play, that was when he started to realise that he is capable of doing great things in the PDC, I think, and also winning 2 titles and going runners-up in the final Players' Championship too, I think it was, in his first weekend of a PDC player. I think that just showed you that he is good enough to do great things in the PDC, and it's great to see.
Yeah, he's quite a player. His first season playing with the best day in, day out. I mean, a lot of people, there were some skeptics, right? Say, hey, he's not going to cut it when he moves over. But boy, has he. There's no doubt he's one of the best.
Yeah, no doubt about that. And obviously the haters or doubters, obviously be quiet now because he's done extremely well in this debut year.
Now, he is recently quoted by the PDC on Twitter saying this: "I'm good at playing my best game when I need it the most. I know I've got the bottle." And that is a key element in darts, bottle. Some people rise to the occasion in those big moments when others wither. And Glen Durrant seems to be a guy that has no problem handling the tension and the nervous times in a darts match, those ebbs and flows.
He's a fighter, and he always fights to the end, and that's what is a great quality of any sportsman, no matter what sport you're in. And having that quality can actually help you win big things. Like, that's what true champions are made of, regardless.
One of the things I find very interesting about Glen is his personality that comes across on social media. I mean, he even put out a tweet that is my pin tweet now, where he said, "I love High Roller Radio." But besides the compliments that he sends out to people, he also jokes, he's self-deprecating. He seems like he's a really cool guy.
Yeah, definitely. I've not met him yet, but judging by how he possesses on social media, it just shows he's a very nice person, obviously, very respectful of everyone. And I've read some of his tweets sometimes when I get the chance, and it's a good laugh.
Do you know what's going on between him and Matthew Edgar in some kind of MMA fight? Because I've only caught a few of the tweets, and I don't know the backstory.
I think it's just a bit of a joke, really. I think they're good friends obviously in real life, but I don't know too much about it. I think it's just something to have a laugh about. But if they do have an MMA fight, I'd love tickets to go see that.
Absolutely, that would be a good one. Okay, so let's talk about the Ali Pally this year. Do you fancy his chances this year? Obviously, he's got the game, but this is the big one. This is crunch time. They all come out with the big guns. I hope he goes deep and gets in the zone early.
Yeah, I definitely hope so as well. But whether we can win it or not, it's hard to find out really, because we've got a really tough second round draw of either Damon Heta, who's won something on TV, or Jose Duzza, who played great on the floor this year. So either way, he's going to have a really difficult draw. But beyond that, it's still a very tough draw. He's in a very tough quarter. But if he still managed to win it when playing against some of the top players in the world and go for a really difficult draw, then that shows you how classy he is as a player. But I definitely think he could have a good run at it. Whether he wins it or not is a different story. And I'd be really happy for him if he does win it. But for now, I'm just taking it one game at a time and seeing whether he can or can't actually win it.
Yeah, that second round draw is a tough one. That Portuguese sensation, Duzza, I mean, he can play, and he's proven this year that he's very dangerous. If those two meet, that'll be something special, I think.
Yeah, I agree with that. Because when I've seen Duzza play on TV, he played very well at the Players' Championship event, finals and in the events itself. But I think the lack of TV experience over Duzza might hinder him a bit, but it should be a fantastic match. Both are good players.
Let's just say that Glenn Durrant goes all the way. He wins the World Championship, the PDC title. I mean, this would be history. We'd have a unified belt. That would be remarkable. 4 in a row, right?
When you were just saying, I was just smiling because I think that would be just incredible, really. Like I said earlier, for the sport as well, having a unified world champion and 4 times in a row, I think just remarkable, really. It's definitely going to be a bigger challenge for him because obviously the PDC's got a much better standard than the BDO. Not discrediting BDO at all, but I really think that if he does win it, then his life's already changed around from the PDC anyway, and he's definitely better off financially, and that will definitely be the cherry on top in that perspective. But also, I think being a PDC world champion, when many people doubted him when he joined the PDC with the 3 BDO world championships, I think it puts everything to rest, and the haters and doubters of him will be gone completely. And I think it would be a great story if he actually was to become the first unified world champion.
Oh, absolutely. It would send chills down my spine, and all those haters out there, I'd love to see their reactions. You recently tweeted out a nice photo of both MVG and Glenn Durrant, the reigning PDC and BDO world champs, both without a doubt class acts and gentlemen. They really are great reps for the sport, aren't they?
Definitely. When I met MVG recently, he was nothing short but a class act, really, because the way he comes across as well in his interviews, always respectful of the other player, and he's just not arrogant or anything like that, really, because he always gives credit to other players and then knows how he can improve himself, which is the perfect mindset to have, I think, for most sports, because, of course, the best player in the world does make mistakes, but he also knows how to rectify them and come back stronger. And also, about Glenn as well, he's also the same, because obviously he's a world champion, of course, and then he only wants to improve his game anyway, and himself when playing. And I think that they're both gentlemen, especially what Glenn's doing for me anyway. That shows enough that he's a class act.
Yeah, well, let's talk about what Glenn's doing for you. I know you're writing a book about him. I think you're about to meet him pretty soon. The last year for you has been so busy. You've been doing research, compiling information, gathering tidbits. Tell us about this planned meeting with him, and in which you plan to get more insight, right?
Yeah, definitely. That's the plan. More insight and asking a few details about the book, but mainly more than insight, because I think it's been more to talk about his career from his side of things instead of just relying on interviews with like live darts or anything like that, but focus more on him as a person as well, because that would help me write specific things. Like, obviously, he said before in an interview he's a shy person, so when he tells me a bit about some information, then I can kind of like write that into the book and say at this specific event he was very shy because he's a shy person and the nerves got to him, etc.
How has the year progressed for you? I know writing a book's not easy. What have you learned in this process?
Just quite a lot, really. It's very, very challenging, and I'm still compiling research on that. There's loads out there, so I might as well make the most of it and make sure that it's as best as possible. But in general, writing it's very difficult to get into as in general as well, because I feel like sometimes writers aren't given the credit they deserve, because it's truly one of the most challenging things you could do. And I've learned that it's definitely much more difficult to write a biography than usually just like a normal fiction book. But I'm not discrediting fiction authors or anything, because the whole process is complicated and takes a lot of time.
Well, I admire you, sir, because I do some writing myself, and I understand exactly what you're saying. It's not easy. It's a challenging feat, so I wish you all the best, and I certainly wish Glenn Durrant the best, because let's face it, if he wins the world title this year, you've got yourself a bestseller right off the top.
Try not to think about Glenn winning just yet, because I think, well, that'd be perfect though. I think already it could be a bestseller, and I think lots of people are interested at the moment. But when and if he becomes world champion, lots more people would want to hear about him anyway, because most people don't watch darts, wouldn't know who he is right now. And then if he wins the world championship, he would be more recognised by people that aren't really darts fans as well. So I really think, in a way, it would change my life as well at the same time, because I'm writing someone that's achieved something so big.
Well, I'll tell you what, I envy you as well, man, because you're doing all this such a young age, and you got a good head on your shoulders, and I wish you well with that Glenn Durrant meeting. I'm sure it's going to go well. Let's delve more into the World Championship. It kicks off Friday. I know you'll be glued to the Luke Humphries Devin Peterson match. You're doing media for Cool Hand Luke, which I didn't know. That's awesome, mate. When did this happen? And by the way, good job if you had anything to do with how he handled the haters after winning the PDC Youth Championship at the age 24, because he came out on social media with a great sense of humor, and I think that did him wonders.
Well, personally, thank you. And it came about recently, actually, because I thought, I can't give you an exact date, but I've always, since the World Championships, when he beat Rob Cross, I became a fan since then, mainly because he's from Berkshire, and that's where I'm from. So it's great to have some players from Berkshire in the PDC. And then it all began with me and Luke anyway at the start of the year when I was writing the Rob Cross book, and I asked him to message me, and he was really nice to me about it and would help at any point if I had to say something from him about that game on the reflection. And then contacted him again recently, and now I'm doing media for him, which is brilliant, to be honest, because I think he's a quality player. And like you said about the World Youth Championship, that was brilliant, and he's joined the list of great talents to win that.
What do you make of the heat that he took for winning that World Youth title at 24? I mean, it's not his fault, right? And then people come out of the woodworks and start blasting him, which I thought was totally inappropriate. But again, he held himself well, made some jokes, and that one shot, the picture he took where he aged himself to an elderly man and made jokes about him winning the world title as an old age guy with the trophy in hand, I thought that was brilliant.
Yeah, that was brilliant. And I think the way he composed about it as well, it's not his fault that he didn't make the rules about the development tour and being a youth championship, but apparently on the internet it's 24 when you're considered not a youth anymore. But I think, aside from the haters, I think he deserved to win that, and I'm very happy for him.
What do you think his chances are against Devin, the African warrior? I mean, this guy had a nice run last year, seems to play well in the big moments. What do you think? Can Luke Humphries get by him?
I think so, yes. Devin had a great run at the Worlds last year, and that was good to see, because I think he was struggling a bit. But it's a shame that he had to play Devin, because I quite like Devin as a player anyway and a person. But I think he should get past Devin, and he plays much better on the stage, I think. That's when he comes alive, as he's told me before.
It really is amazing when you talk about Humphries, because of what he's gone through, right? He's had some mental health issues. He's made it public. He's battled through them, and he continues throwing fine tungsten.
Yeah, I agree, definitely. And I think he said at one point in an interview that he was debating whether to play darts again or stop completely, which just shows you an incredible year he's had and how his life's changed since then when he came out, and now he's a World Youth Champion.
You mentioned him there, Rob Cross. I know you're a big fan. You follow him closely. You were doing a lot of research on him at one point as well. Everyone says, or not everyone, but some people say that he's had a bad year. Well, I'll tell you what, I'd love to have a bad year like that, right?
Don't like it when people say that, to be honest. Not at all. Not a fan. Because he's won the match play and the European Championships and 2 TV tournaments. That's still quite a lot. And let's not forget that he came runners-up to Van Gogh in the Premier League and to Nathan Aspinall in the UK Open. So, in retrospect, he's actually had the second best year, apart from Michael Van Gogh, and been a great year for him. And I think he's put a lot of doubters about whether he could win anything again to bed, really.
Well, he may face Kim Huybrechts in his opening match. Not an easy opponent, but certainly one you'd expect him to get by. The thing about Rob Cross that intrigues me is he said it one year, the year he won the World Championship, that he got in this bubble and nothing could stop him. And I'm wondering if he's going to get in that bubble again, because when he does, I mean, there's a dangerous darts player right there. Never seems to miss when he's in the zone.
I think from that 2017-18 World Championship was something that Rob Cross has never done before in his life, really. And the fact that he played so well throughout the whole tournament, I think he could do that again. And he's had spells of that this year anyway. And I think he could have a really good shot at winning. Although he's a bit inconsistent, but he's still... People forget he's won the World Championship in his first attempt sometimes. Well, it comes across like that. But last year he still did pretty well considering he was coming in as a reigning world champion. But I think set play suits him quite well.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to seeing how he does this year. Of course, a lot of eyes on Gerwyn Price. MVG's the favorite, but there's a lot of talk about the Iceman. Gezi is on fire, and he doesn't seem to back down from the world number one. In fact, he seems to rev it up and give it right back. There's a lot of excitement surrounding the Welshman. What do you make of the potential clash between Gerwyn Price and MVG? I think everyone in the darts world wants it.
Yeah, it's a great rivalry, and I think it provides great entertainment for people that aren't choosing sides between them. To be honest, though, Price has had a great year in general, and especially recently, he's reached a couple of finals, won something, obviously, at the Grand Slam. If they play, I don't know when they would play because of the draw, but I think it's the final. But if so, that would be a great game if they can keep the standard throughout the long period of time.
The darts world wants this one, doesn't it? I mean, this is the matchup that everybody wants. At least I do. I think it would be something else to see these two go toe-to-toe on that Alley Pally stage with the roars, the excitement, the big finishes, the 180s. It would be some drama.
Yeah, definitely. And I think I wouldn't call who would win it because it all depends on how they play throughout the tournament as well. But it would be definitely very exciting to watch from a neutral point of view as well. And also, I think it could be a rivalry in many years to come.
What do you think about the controversy that Gerwyn Price brings with him to darts? He seems to be involved in a lot of things away from the Aki on that stage. What do you think of this? What do you think of the way he plays?
At first, I really hated how he played, to be honest, and that was like 2018, before the Grand Slam. But as a person, I don't mind him really. I usually support most Welshmen anyway in sports, but the way he plays normally, it definitely seems to die down a little bit since beforehand. Otherwise, he wouldn't get so many boos in these days, because he's definitely changed a bit of his game. Not massively, but he's slowly becoming more well respected from people, especially after what happened at the Grand Slam last year. He plays magnificent darts, there's no denying that. And the occasional roar, I don't have a problem with, really.
And I think you mentioned it there, the fan base seems to be turning around. Maybe he's had a chat with a media consultant, because he handled himself real well the last tournament and actually got a lot of cheers as he was strutting his stuff up there. Two more guys quickly before we talk about the world of darts that I want to touch base on here. Gary Anderson and a guy I know you're a big fan of, Ryan Searle. What do you make of their chances this year?
Gary Anderson, I'm not too sure, really. I don't think anyone really knows, apart from... Well, actually, I don't think he knows himself. I said in a tweet recently that I secretly want him to dominate his way to it, and I really do, to be honest. I think his form's questionable at the moment, but he's slowly becoming more and more used to the stage again, and I think it'll take a couple of shock exits for him to do it, but we'll see, to be honest, because I have no idea. And about Ryan Searle, I don't see that happening at all, as much as I'd love that.
Yeah, you'd like him to win, wouldn't you? Tell us about the world of darts, the work that you do and others do there, an emerging presence in the darts world, and I got to say, I like it.
Well, thank you very much. And just started my own brand, so to speak, and I think could lift off at the start of next year, hopefully.
And Luke Jones, my man, I know he's involved. He's about to rev it up on YouTube. Early days working things out, some kinks, but exciting times nonetheless.
Yeah, so much so. And gave Luke the role to do videos and live videos, etc., for the channel, because I think he'd make it all exciting and very attractive for people to come in and join in the calls and videos, and I think he would be a great presenter for the channel.
Henry Cheal, darts fan, aspiring author, cool hand Luke's media guy at the Henry Cheal on Twitter. Henry, thank you so much for your time today, man. Enjoy the World Championships. Can you leave us with a prediction? Who's going to win this thing?
Firstly, thank you. Pleasure to be on here, and same with you. And for my prediction, I'm going to go Michael Van Gerwen to win fairly comfortably.